Welcome to our college briefing show. Today, we're diving into a kaleidoscope of stories that shine a light on the resilience, change, and education painting our world in unique hues. First up, we're taking a virtual trip to Hong Kong, where National Security Education Day has taken a digital twist. Amidst the whirlwind of the national security law, the city's residents participated in over 30 community activities, aiming to foster a sense of unity and support for the legislation. It's a mix of flag-raising and singing contests that has critics and supporters all buzzing. Then, we're zooming over to Santa Fe, where the classrooms are buzzing for a different reason. The introduction of a new grading system has students and parents in a bit of a tizzy. Moving from traditional letter grades to a 0 to 4 scale, it's all about transparency in academic strengths and weaknesses. But, as you can imagine, not everyone's a fan, especially when those GPAs start to wobble. It's a bumpy ride towards educational reform, but there's hope that feedback will smooth out the path. And finally, we're wrapping up with a story of courage and creativity from none other than Salman Rushdie. After surviving a harrowing attack, Rushdie's pen continues to dance across the pages of his memoir, Knife, Meditations After an Attempted Murder. It's a tale of resilience, the power of art over violence, and an unwavering belief in freedom of speech. Through his journey, Rushdie reminds us of the enduring strength of the human spirit. From the digital stages of Hong Kong to the controversial classrooms of Santa Fe, and the courageous literary journey of Salman Rushdie, today's stories are a testament to the challenges and triumphs of our time. Please stay tuned for the detailed content, as these narratives offer a unique lens through which to view our ever-evolving world. Please continue to watch for more details. In the bustling, ever-evolving landscape of global events, stories of resilience, change, and education unfold, painting a vivid picture of the world we live in. From the virtual hallways of Hong Kong's National Security Education Day to the controversial classrooms of Santa Fe public schools, and finally to the courageous literary journey of Salman Rushdie, each narrative offers a unique lens through which to view the challenges and triumphs of our time. The South China Morning Post reports on an event that marks a significant moment in Hong Kong's history. Xiao Baolong, Beijing's point man on Hong Kong affairs, took the virtual stage to deliver a keynote speech on National Security Education Day. Amid the backdrop of the contentious Hong Kong national security law introduced in 2020, this year's event aimed to bolster awareness and responsibility among residents towards safeguarding the nation's security. Critics from the West have voiced concerns over the law's impact on citizens' freedoms, yet the government's initiative included over 30 community activities, from flag-raising ceremonies to singing contests, in a bid to foster a sense of unity and support for the legislation. Analysts highlight the dual focus needed on both national security and economic development to ensure Hong Kong's prosperity in the face of adversity. Moving from the political arena to the educational sector, Yahoo US sheds light on the bumpy transition to standards-based grading in Santa Fe public schools. This innovative grading system, which scores students on a scale of 0 to 4, has stirred controversy among parents and students alike. Aimed at providing a more transparent assessment of students' academic strengths and weaknesses, the system has faced backlash for its confusing implementation and drastic impact on some students' grades. Despite the challenges, the district remains committed to refining the system based on community feedback, emphasizing its potential to offer a fairer, more objective evaluation of student performance. In a tale of personal resilience and the power of art over violence, The Independent tells the story of Salman Rushdie's response to the harrowing attack that nearly claimed his life in 2022. In his memoir, Knife, Meditations After an Attempted Murder, Rushdie recounts the ordeal and his journey towards healing, both physically and emotionally. Blinded in one eye and with limited use of his hand, Rushdie's determination to continue writing and expressing his unwavering belief in freedom of speech shines through. Having lived under the shadow of a fatwa for decades following the publication of The Satanic Verses, Rushdie's experience underscores the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Each of these stories, while distinct in their context and challenges, shares a common thread of resilience, adaptation, and the quest for understanding in a complex world. Whether it's navigating the intricacies of national security, revolutionizing educational assessments, or overcoming personal attacks with creativity and courage, the individuals and communities at the heart of these narratives demonstrate the unyielding capacity for growth and transformation. As we witness these unfolding stories, we are reminded of the enduring power of education, the importance of standing firm in one's beliefs, and the indomitable spirit of humanity to rise above challenges and forge ahead into the future. In a heart-wrenching incident that unfolded at the Westfield Bondi Junction shopping centre in Sydney, a man named Joel Kochi, aged 40, unleashed terror by attacking people with a knife, resulting in the tragic loss of 6 lives. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, This unforeseen act of violence ended when a senior police officer on the scene made the critical decision to shoot Kachi, bringing the rampage to a halt. Remarkably, in a profound expression of understanding and empathy, the parents of Kachi reached out to the officer involved, sending a message of support. This gesture highlights the complex and heartrending nature of the situation, especially considering that Kachi had been battling mental illness since he was 17, with his mental health reportedly declining in recent years. Authorities have clarified that Kachi had never been arrested or charged in Queensland, his home state, and there was no evidence to suggest that his attack was motivated by religious, political, or ideological reasons. In a different realm of Australian culture, the late Peter Olszewski, affectionately known as the legendary J.J. McRoach, left an indelible mark on the arts and intellectual scene of the late 1960s and early 1970s. As reported by the Sydney Morning Herald, Olszewski was a luminary of the Australian Performing Group and the Pram Factory, among other cultural institutions. His contributions weren't just limited to the arts, he was also a vocal advocate for marijuana legalization, even running for the Australian Senate as the Australian Marijuana Party candidate in 1977 under his alias, J.J. McRoach. Olszewski's career spanned journalism and editing for notable publications, and his adventurous spirit took him to war zones, courtrooms, and even Myanmar and Cambodia, where he continued his journalism career. A fervent supporter of the Carlton Football Club, Olszewski's legacy is a testament to a life lived with passion and purpose. On the international education front, a significant shift has been observed in the dynamics of student exchanges between the United States and China. The South China Morning Post reports a stark decline in the number of American students opting to study in China, with figures dropping from a peak of nearly 25,000 a decade ago to around 700 today. This drastic decrease is attributed to various factors, including concerns over academic freedom, the risk of being stranded amid geopolitical tensions, and the lack of economic opportunities. Despite these challenges, there is a mutual recognition between the two countries of the importance of revitalizing student exchanges. Efforts are underway to mend the trust that has been eroded over the years, with initiatives such as China's invitation to thousands of U.S. high school students to visit, signaling a hopeful step towards rebuilding educational bridges. These stories, spanning from a tragic incident in Sydney to the remarkable life of a cultural icon and the complexities of international student exchanges, reflect the diverse and multifaceted nature of global and local narratives. They underscore the importance of empathy, cultural engagement, and the ongoing efforts to foster understanding and cooperation across borders. Whether it's through supporting those affected by tragedy, celebrating the contributions of individuals who've shaped cultural landscapes, or navigating the intricacies of international relations, these narratives highlight the resilience and interconnectedness of communities around the world. In a world teeming with complexities and challenges, the dynamic between the United States and China stands out as a beacon of global attention, often for reasons that stir concern and debate. The South China Morning Post sheds light on an unsettling trend: America's growing obsession with China, a fixation that seems to be steering the U.S., and potentially the world, toward a precarious path. This preoccupation is not just a matter of international politics, it's a reflection of deep-seated mistrust and fear, a phenomenon often referred to as Sinophobia. The narrative suggests that this fear is leading to a skewed perception of global dynamics, where competition overshadows cooperation, and the real issues at home and abroad are sidelined. The disparities in race, religion, and socioeconomic status within the U.S. itself are being neglected, as the country's focus remains locked on China. This situation calls for a moment of introspection and a balanced reassessment of the U.S.-China relationship, not just for the sake of domestic harmony, but for the global community's future. In a completely different arena, the spirit of competition brings us a story of triumph and historical achievement in the world of college ice hockey. The Associated Press reports on Denver's monumental victory over Boston College, a win that not only crowned them champions but also etched their name in the history books with a record 10th NCAA hockey national title. The match was a showcase of skill, determination, and strategic brilliance, with Jared Wright and Rieger Lorenz scoring the decisive goals. Goalie Matt Davis emerged as a wall of steel, making 35 saves to secure a shutout victory. This win is more than just a number, it's a testament to Denver's enduring legacy in college ice hockey, surpassing Michigan's record and snapping Boston College's impressive 15-game winning streak. The journey to this championship was marked by a 9-game win streak, a testament to the team's resilience, skill, and unyielding spirit. On a more somber note, the BBC brings to light a harrowing tactic employed in the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Known as double-tap strikes, this strategy involves launching a second attack aimed at rescuers and emergency workers who rush to aid victims of an initial strike. The cruelty and inhumanity of these attacks have drawn condemnation from the international community, with the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs labeling them as cruel and unconscionable. The use of double-tap strikes is not only a violation of humanitarian principles but also a grim reflection of the lengths to which conflict can degrade human values and respect for life. Ukrainian rescuers, who face increased danger with each mission, have suffered significant losses, with 91 rescuers killed and over 340 injured since the Russian invasion began in February 2022. These attacks are seen as a deliberate attempt to demoralize the Ukrainian people and undermine their resilience in the face of aggression. The repetition of this tactic, previously observed in Syria, underscores the urgent need for a re-evaluation of the rules of engagement in conflict zones and a renewed commitment to protecting the innocent. Each of these narratives, though vastly different in context and subject matter, highlights the multifaceted nature of our global landscape. From the geopolitical tensions between superpowers to the competitive spirit of sports and the grim realities of conflict, these stories remind us of the complexity of human endeavors and the profound impact of our actions on the world stage. Whether it's re-evaluating our perceptions of adversaries, celebrating historic achievements, or condemning inhumane tactics, the underlying message is clear: our choices and attitudes shape not just our own futures, but those of generations to come. In the vast and diverse landscapes of Australia, stories of innovation, tradition, and scientific discovery intertwine, showcasing the ingenuity and resilience of its people and the land itself. From the ancient fish traps constructed by Indigenous Australians to the quirky persistence of waterbeds and groundbreaking flu research on the Great Barrier Reef, each narrative reveals a unique facet of the country's identity and contribution to global knowledge. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, brings to light the remarkable story of the Brewarina fish traps in New South Wales, a testament to Indigenous Australian engineering prowess that dates back over 3,000 years. These ancient structures, recognized as one of the oldest human-made aquatic systems, demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of river ecology, fish behavior, and sustainable harvesting techniques. At the University of Melbourne, a program called Return to Country, spearheaded by Joseph West, an Indigenous engineer and the university's Associate Dean, Indigenous, with the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology, aims to bridge the gap between traditional Indigenous knowledge and contemporary engineering practices. West is passionate about showing students, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, how these ancient techniques can inspire innovative solutions to today's environmental and community challenges. By visiting sites like the Brewarina fish traps, students are encouraged to think outside the box and design projects that are not only impactful but also respectful of the land and its original custodians. Meanwhile, in a completely different realm of Australian culture, the ABC also dives into the enduring allure of waterbeds. Despite their peak popularity in the 1980s and the subsequent decline due to advancements in mattress technology, waterbeds maintain a niche but loyal following. Invented in 1968 by San Francisco designer Charles Hall, waterbeds were initially marketed as a symbol of the sexual revolution before being recognized for their potential health benefits, such as reducing back pain and improving sleep quality. Today, a handful of waterbed enthusiasts and sellers continue to champion these floating beds, citing their unparalleled comfort and the unique sensation of sleeping on water. The persistence of waterbeds in the face of modern alternatives speaks to the enduring appeal of innovative design and the human desire for comfort and novelty. The spirit of innovation extends beyond cultural artifacts to the realm of scientific discovery, as highlighted by the ABC's exploration of groundbreaking influenza research conducted on the Great Barrier Reef. In the 1960s, virologist Graham Laver and his colleague Robert Webster embarked on a quest that led them to an unlikely place to look for wild birds inhabiting the Great Barrier Reef. Their research uncovered the presence of the influenza virus in these birds, paving the way for significant advancements in flu treatment and the development of antiviral drugs like Tamiflu. Laver's dedication to solving the mysteries of influenza pandemics resulted in improvements in vaccine technology and a deeper understanding of the virus's behavior. Initially met with skepticism, Laver's work is now celebrated as a cornerstone of modern influenza treatment, illustrating the importance of curiosity and perseverance in the face of scientific challenges. Together, these stories from the ABC paint a picture of Australia as a land of contrasts and confluences, where ancient wisdom coexists with modern innovation, and where the pursuit of knowledge and comfort can lead to unexpected discoveries. Whether through the enduring legacy of Indigenous fish traps, the peculiar charm of waterbeds, or the transformative impact of flu research, Australia continues to contribute to the global tapestry of cultural and scientific advancement. Each narrative not only celebrates the achievements of the past and present but also inspires future generations to look beyond conventional boundaries and explore the endless possibilities that lie within the intersection of tradition, innovation, and the natural world. In the enchanting city of Chiang Mai, Thailand, nestled amidst the vibrant green landscapes and ancient temples, lies a cemetery that harbors a surprising connection to the bustling metropolis of Hong Kong. As reported by the South China Morning Post, this link was unearthed through gravestones bearing the inscription C.E. Warren and Company, Causeway Bay, Hong Kong. These markers tell a tale of a bygone era when Hong Kong's local export industry thrived on tombstones and monumental masonry. But the connections don't end there. The cemetery also revealed the stories of Anglo-Burmese and Anglo-Siamese children who journeyed to Hong Kong for their education. These Eurasian children, often born to British fathers working in the forestry sectors of northern Burma or Siam, led isolated lives in remote areas. Their families, concerned about their futures, sought better education and career opportunities for them in Hong Kong, highlighting the city's role as a beacon of hope and opportunity for many. Meanwhile, in Australia, the landscape of protest and public demonstration is undergoing significant changes, as detailed by the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. The country, known for its vibrant democratic traditions, is witnessing an increase in protests, now more frequent than ever. However, these demonstrations are becoming heavily regulated, with participants facing the possibility of arrest and jail time. Despite the lack of a simple, overarching legal right to protest in Australia, the act is protected under international law and is considered a vital part of democratic participation. Yet, recent legislation targeting specific types of protests or behaviors has introduced a new level of complexity and risk for protesters. These laws, often broad and hastily drafted, can lead to unintended consequences for those exercising their right to demonstrate. The effectiveness of protests in achieving their goals remains hard to measure, but they undeniably serve as a powerful expression of public solidarity. On a lighter note, the South China Morning Post brings us the story of Sammo Hung Cambo, a towering figure in the world of Hong Kong cinema. Known for his roles in over 200 films, Hung is a multifaceted talent: actor, director, producer, martial arts choreographer, and action director. His contribution to the industry is being celebrated with a Lifetime Achievement Award at this year's Hong Kong Film Awards. Hung's career is marked by his ability to reinvent Hong Kong cinema, introducing new genres and creating blockbuster hits that blend kung fu comedy, action horror, and contemporary action comedy. Despite his immense success, Hung remains humble, admitting to his shortcomings as a businessman and often losing money on his films. His love for food and humor about exercising his upper and lower lips by eating add a personal touch to his larger-than-life persona. Even as he expresses pessimism about the current state of Hong Kong cinema, Hung's pride in his contributions to the industry is undeniable. These stories, spanning from the historical links between Hong Kong and Chiang Mai to the evolving landscape of protests in Australia, and the illustrious career of Sammo Hung, offer a glimpse into the diverse and dynamic nature of life in the Asia-Pacific region. Each narrative, whether it delves into past connections, contemporary challenges, or personal achievements, contributes to the rich tapestry of experiences that define this vibrant part of the world. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.